So they recognize their sons. وَإِنَّ فَرِيقًا مِّنْهُمْ لَيَكْتُمُونَ الْحَقَّ وَهُمْ يَعْلَمُونَ. And there are among them those who hide the truth and they know it. It is not that they don't understand, they know it. وَإِنَّ فَرِيقًا مِّنْهُمْ لَيَكْتُمُونَ الْحَقَّ وَهُمْ يَعْلَمُونَ. And there are among the people or division who hide the truth and they know it. الْحَقُّ مِنْ رَبِّكَ فَلَا تَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الْمُمْتَرِينَ. And the truth is from your Lord. Do not doubt.
Surah Ibrahim 14 and 35, 36 ayah. I am almost ending my lecture. The Qibla is defined, the house of Allah is defined. And I am just reciting or repeating the dua or the call or the prayer of Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam. This ayah is very important. This is the call or the dua or the prayer of Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam, our father. وَإِذْ قَالَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ رَبِّ اجْعَلْ هَذَا الْبَلَدَ آمِنًا وَاجْنُبْنِي وَبَنِيَّ أَن نَّعْبُدَ الْأَصْنَامَ. When Ibrahim said, "Oh my Lord, make this city of peace and security, and preserve me and my sons of worshipping idols." Preserve me and my sons from worshipping idols. Do you want to say that this dua was not accepted? That there were idols in the house of Allah? Look at the ayat again. وَإِذْ قَالَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ رَبِّ اجْعَلْ هَذَا الْبَلَدَ آمِنًا وَاجْنُبْنِي وَبَنِيَّ أَن نَّعْبُدَ الْأَصْنَامَ. When Ibrahim said, "Oh my Lord, make this city of peace and security and preserve me and my sons of worshipping idols." And we are his sons, the Muslim world. We have established salat in the house of Allah from all times. And it will remain in the future. Antahira baitya, purify my house. Raise the foundation of the house instead of keeping idols in our house. They are just in our minds. I have read all the ayahs. You can come up and talk to me at any time. There was no worshipping of the idols in the house of Allah, because this is the prayer and the dua of Ibrahim alayhi salam. He purified the house, and still the Muslim world upholds the status of the house of Allah with our all weaknesses. We still are upholding the same foundation which was laid down by all times. Believe me, you. With all the weaknesses, I'm asking, what are we? Nothing. And still you see the qiyam, the ruku, the sujood and the tawaf. With our all demerits, we still do that. We still practice the same thing. In all time, who is there who is stopping us from not keeping idols in the house? It is Allah who has preserved his house from all kind of mischief and infidelity. It was purified from the day one and still today, and it will remain in the future. رَبِّ إِنَّهُنَّ أَضْلَلْنَ كَثِيرًا مِنَ النَّاسِ فَمَنْ تَبِعَنِي فَإِنَّهُ مِنِّي وَمَنْ عَصَانِي فَإِنَّكَ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. Oh my Lord, they are indeed led astray. These very people have led people astray. Among people, he then who follows my ways. Ibrahim alayhi salam says, who follow my ways is of me. And he that disobeys me, then surely you are indeed of forgiving, most merciful. Meaning, there are people who have been led astray, who have been deviated from the first house. It will be a deviation, is also a process to coming back to reversion. It has to. But when the truth has been confirmed and notified, we should revert back. We should be reverting back. Not that we still carry on with our own previous concept without proof. Surah Naml 27, 91, 92 and 93 ayah. He says further, Ibrahim alayhi salam, إِنَّمَا أُمِرْتُ أَنْ أَعْبُدَ رَبَّ هَذِهِ الْبَلْدَةِ الَّذِي حَرَّمَهَا وَلَهُ كُلُّ شَيْءٍ وَأُمِرْتُ أَنْ أَكُونَ مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. For me, I've been commanded to worship the Lord of this city. For me, I've been commanded to worship the Lord of this city who has made it sacred. Who has made it sacred. And for him are all things. And I am commanded to be of those who are Muslims. He is commanded, all the prophets are commanded, and all the Muslim world is commanded. What? For me, I have been commanded to worship the Lord of this city, Mecca, who has made it sacred. Who has made it sacred. And for him are all things. And I am commanded to be of those who are Muslim. Muslim in the sense of Allah's status, not in our each other's sights. وَأَنْ أَتْلُوَ الْقُرْآنِ فَمَنِ اهْتَدَى فَإِنَّمَا يَهْتَدِي لِنَفْسِهِ وَمَنْ ضَلَّ فَقُلْ إِنَّمَا أَنَا مِنَ الْمُنذِرِينَ. And to recite or read the Quran, if any accept guidance, they do it for their own good souls. And if they stray, say, I am only a warner. This was said by Ibrahim al-Islam and all the prophets. And still today, the Muslim is commanded to say to the non-Muslims, to educate the non-Muslims of the world. And to recite, to read the Quran. And if any accept guidance, they do it for their own good souls. And if any astray, I am only a warner. وَقُلِ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ سَيُرِيكُمْ آيَاتِهِ فَتَعْرِفُونَهَا وَمَا رَبُّكَ بِغَافِلٍ عَمَّا تَعْمَلُونَ. And say, praise be to Allah, who will soon show you His ayats, His signs, in time and reference. You may know one day the ayats were rehearsed to you. And say, praise be to Allah, who will soon show you His signs, so that you shall recognize them. And your Lord is not unmindful of what all you do. So this is the almost last ayat of my lecture. This lecture was based on what Al-Quran says about the Kaaba and the Qibla. So I will just summarize in few words that the first house is our first Qibla. But we deviate from the thinkings of the various people. We means not only the Muslim world, all mankind are being deviated by the understanding of humans, writing books, thinking that this is the word or this is the house of God, Allah. So you deviate, but in time and reference, there is always a time for everybody where he thinks, he ponders, and he's searching for the truth and reality. That is the time Allah shows everybody guidance. He comes back, he reverts back to the original, the first house of Allah, the first Qibla of Allah of all times. And when you accept this house, you have to become a part and parcel to the intersection of the sacred mosque. Not if you are not practicing the salah, and if you got the money and wealth and you're not going for Hajj and Umrah, you are not becoming a Muslim. You are not accepting the Qibla. You are not becoming a Muslim in the real sense. You have to be in continuation all time, 5 times a day. You have to read the ayats, understand the ayats, perform the salah, establish the salah, so that the Qibla is established in your minds and in your ideologies. You should be an example to the non-Muslims. You should be educating the Quranic ayats to the non-Muslims, so that they also revert to the reality, so that the Islam should be spread around the world. This lecture and my previous lectures and in my future lectures, some of the people are asking, what is the motto? Why are you doing all that? So I'm openly telling everybody that this lecture and my other lectures in the future are based on the formats of the Quranic ayat. I will be dealing in different topics, telling you people that this is what Quran says. It's an education to the non-Muslims, because they don't know the Quran. It is an education to the non-Muslims, and to the Muslim world it is the belief, the iman grows, that we know the reality. The Quran is in our houses. For the non-Muslim it is an education, and for the Muslim world the iman increased, the belief increased. And for the unjust it is nothing but loss. So this is where we are just sleeping. We are just dead people. We should all pray all together that Allah guides everybody onto the truth. Thank you very much.
Jazakallah. After the lecture of Mr. Muhammad Sheikh, I would like to open up the floor to a question and answer session which will last approximately about a half an hour to 45 minutes. There are certain rules and regulations which I would like to enforce today, and being the convener of this evening, please refrain from asking any questions which are not pertinent to the topic. If any choose to do so, I shall have the liberty to withdraw that question. So please only address the speaker on the topic which was delivered today, and that is what Al-Quran says about the Kaaba and the Qibla. We have in front a microphone in the center of the hall for all those ladies and all the gentlemen who would like to come up and ask their question. Please introduce yourselves first by giving your name. Ask the question clearly, distinctly, and precisely. We don't want an individual to come up and give us a 30-minute summary of what was just recited to us. Please be precise and ask the speaker your question. If you have more than one question, go back to the end of the line and give the second person in line the chance or the opportunity to ask his question, and wait for your second chance. But please do not ask more than one question at a time. For any of those individuals who might not be able to come up to the mic, if you still have a question, write it up on the slip legibly in English and give it to one of the program coordinators, and they will bring it up. But please have your name written on it so we know whose question it is. So I now open the floor up to any of those people who would like to ask questions on today's topic. You please form a line. If there are more than one people, just stand in queue. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mahmoud Amre. Could you please tell us if there was any Qibla at the time of Hazrat Nuh alayhi salam and his followers?
The question that in Prophet Nuh alayhi salam, was there a Qibla, was there or not? So by the ayah I read for Ibrahim alayhi salam, the house was pointed out because he is before Ibrahim alayhi salam. His question is because Ibrahim alayhi salam came after Nuh alayhi salam. That is the record in the Quran we find. So his question is that is there any mentioning of the Qibla in the time of Nuh alayhi salam? So if there is a house of Allah is there and people are performing which I explained, if it was there, then it was time of Nuh alayhi salam also. The Qibla was there. Surah Nuh is 71 surah, and it is the ayah is 28. That is the last ayah. Rabbik filli wali walidayya waliman dakhala baytiya mu'minaw walil mu'minina wal mu'minat. Now the translation is, O my Lord, forgive me, my parents, all who enter my house. The word in Arabic is baytiya. Who enter my house, Nuh alayhi salam's house, in belief, and believing men and believing women. Now the word is baytiya, Prophet's house. I explain who are the Ahlul Bayt. The house is there, people who follow and practice, they are the Ahlul Bayt. So all the time the house was there. So Nuh alayhi salam, the Prophet is referring to his house is the house of Allah, not a physical house where he used to live in. This house is referring to the house of Allah. All the Prophet's house is this house, the first house of Allah. When we say Al-Bayt means the house. Kaaba, the house of Allah. All the prophets' house is this house. So Nuh al-Islam is saying in this ayah, my house and the believers. So when he says my house, is referring to the Allah's house. And I explained Allah's house was there on all times. So he was practicing and the believers were there.
There is a word in your index, Ahl-al-Bayt, meaning of which is written, people of the house.
Yes.
And what I understand from your explanation, that is the people who follow the Islam, those all are Ahl-al-Bayt. Is that true?
Islam, of course, people, Muslims. Bayt means the house. Al-Bayt. That's the house of Allah. So people who accept and appreciate and follow and reward themselves are the Al-Bayt, people of the house.
If he is Muslim, he has to.
Yes, all the prophets.
But here I have got, to best of my knowledge, I know 3 places where the word Ahl-al-Bayt is used in the Quran, and I have got translation in Urdu. I read it for you.
Can you give the reference, please?
What is the reference?
Reference.
Azab, Surah Azab.
Excuse me, 1 minute. The reference in that booklet is given already. 33 Azab, 33 Ayah. If you note, look into that booklet first. No, the booklet I gave you. If you note, I gave 2 references. Azab 33, 33 and Hud 11 and 73. There is no other reference as Al-Bayt in the Quran with this reference to this house. There is no other reference in the Quran referring to this house, Allah's house, Al-Bayt 2 times in these 2 ayahs. And that is why I gave these 2 ayahs.
Would you please allow me to read out?
Yes, please.
If I am wrong, then you can
Yes,
say.
please.
And it's nothing from my side.
I know, yes.
This is what I have noted from the Quran. 32 Surah Azab 32. अपने घरों में टिक कर रहो.
Excuse me, my friend. I am saying that is 33 Al-Azab, 33 ayat.
Right.
Thank you.
अपने घरों में टिक कर रहो और साबिक दौरे जाहिलियत की सजदा दिखाती फिरो. नमाज कायम करो, ज़कात दो और अल्लाह उसके रसूल की इताअत करो. अल्लाह तो ये चाहता है कि तुम अहले बैत नबी से गंदगी को दूर करे और तुम्हें पूरी तरह पाक करे. The second reference.
No, excuse me. Can you please ask your question?
Excuse me.
No, it's the same question. Now I'm giving you the reference.
Excuse me,
You
my
have
friend.
still not
Just
put
a
forward your
minute.
question.
These 2 references are given to you. The same reference you are repeating. And this is the Quran. Can you read the Arabic?
I have got it over
This
here.
is not Quran. Quran is Arabic.
Well, if it is, then why are you explaining in English? If it is in Arabic.
I am reading Arabic all the time also. You also read.
If it is in English,
You also read
then you read in English.
Now you can't read Arabic.
No, I can't read it.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you. Please sit
Sir,
down.
Because I am not Walker.
Excuse me, please. If you have a question, put it forth, otherwise please sit down.
I'll answer him. I will answer him. No, I will answer him before, because the problem is, no, just a minute. You are giving a translation of somebody. I will read the Arabic now. I will read the Arabic for you. Ya nisan nabi, lastunna ka ahadim min an-nisa'i, in ittaqaytunna, fala takhdhana bil qawli, fayatma alladhi fi qalbihi mawdhun, wa qulna qawlan ma'rufa. O consort of the Prophet, meaning, O wives of the Prophet. It is referring to the wives of the Prophet. You are not like any other woman. If you do fear Allah, be not too complacent of speech, but one in whose heart is a disease should be moved with desire. But speak you a speak that is just. That is the address to the Prophet's wives. That is addressed to the Prophet wives. Agreed. 100% agreed. Address is to the Prophet wives. I read further now. The ayah that I am talking about. Surah Al-Azab 33 ayah. وَقَنَّا فِي بُيُوتِكُنَّا وَلَا تَبَرَّجْنَا تَبَرَّجُ الْجَاهِلِيَّةِ الْأُولَى وَأَقِمْنَا الصَّلَاةَ وَآتِينَا الزَّكَاةَ وَأَطِيعْنَا اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ. Now, it is addressed to the Prophet's wives. Is that all right? You agree to that? Now Allah says, and stay quietly in your houses. What the translation was? That's in plural, houses. Referring to Prophet's houses. Not one house, plural. Prophet's wives have many wives, every woman has a house. So where they have to be in the house? In the houses of their houses. Different women, different wives have different houses. It is not referring to Allah's house. Remember? That's in plural. Buyutikunna, referring to Prophet's wives' houses. And I read further. Innama yuridullah liyudhhiba ankumur rijsa ahlal bayti wa yutahhirakum tathira. I'm sorry I can't read properly because of the light coming on my face. This is the yellow pages. Now Allah says in translation, Allah wishes to remove all the admonitions from you. Is in Arabic is ankum. Anybody who knows Arabic understand it is in masculine gender, which includes the women, and it says alal bait, and bait is singular. When it was talking about the Prophet's wives, it was talking in plural, but now it converts into kum, means plural, men and women both, and refers as alal bait is singular, the name of the house. So it is referring to Allah's house, not plural.
My name is Mrs. Aisha Farhan, and my question is pertaining the lecture today which Mr. Sheikh has delivered. I have been put into a very confusing state because one of my colleagues at the office asked me a question that you Muslims condemn us that we worship idols, but you do the same by worshipping Kaaba, which is also made of stone. So can you please give me a clear answer so that I can next time be careful?
The question for some people may be clear is something like that. Most of the Hindus, they worship idols. They make carvings of the stone, and this is not a new thing. It is mentioned in the Quran. In Ibrahim alayhi salam, people were worshipping these idols. Now, the question is that the Hindus are saying to us, the Muslim world, I've also sometime heard this kind of argument, they are saying that we worship the idols in the form of a stone, but our Bhagwan is in the sky. I mean, he's got the concept of God or Allah, but he is saying that this is a stone, is just a way, or something stone like that, worshipping the idol. And the difference is that the stone we see, the Kaaba with these walls, we see there, is in Mecca, and we are facing ourselves, or we are reverting ourselves, a continuous practice that is prevailing in that mosque is Sajood and Qiyam and Ruku and Sujood for Allah. But that is being a focus to us. But what is the difference? The question is, what is the difference between a Hindu worshipping an idol and the Muslim facing towards the house of Allah? That's the question. How will you differentiate? So I'm asking the Hindus, you must ask a counter question to the Hindus. Who told you to worship the stone god? Who told you? So they will say some people. I would say they would say some people in their books. They will say that by the books they are worshipping those idols. Some people have been telling them to worship these idols. So Hindus are worshipping the idols, not the idols told them to worship us. Not the idols themselves, those stones did not say to worship us. But the people, the Hindu people, the learned people among the Hindus, may be referring, these are your gods. So these people are following men or people. If we are facing towards Kaaba, it's not a man's book, it's Allah's book. And Allah is saying to face towards Kaaba. So I am asking the Hindus, why don't you do the same? Because you believe in the stones. So he will say no. Because this is a command from Allah. It is not man saying to worship the Kaaba. It is Allah saying. So you see the difference. Hindu will not accept. He should accept. It's a stone. Come, we will come. You also worship the stone, but he will not, because it is not. He is not following Allah. So people, Muslims who revert their personality to the intersection I explained to the sacred mosque, is not worshipping the stone, four walls, the square. It is the system prevailed there. You can give an argument, because you have got so many different kinds of stones, you worship the idols. Why don't you take as an idol and worship? So he will not agree. He will not worship because this is a command from Allah in the Quran. There's a difference.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh Sahib.
Wa alaikum.
My name is Naveed. I'm just asking a question to make my understanding a bit clearer. There is a pre-existing belief, a norm for atheists, that within the Kaaba used to exist idols. And you have referred to it categorically, that at no time were there any idols in the Kaaba. I want to draw your attention to two ayats which you have mentioned here. Surah Ibrahim number 14, ayat 35, which says, I'm just taking out a few words from it, which is, preserve me and my sons from worshipping idols. Another surah mentioned earlier on is Surah
Can you
2.
please ask your question distinctly, please?
The question I'm asking is, how can you say that there were no idols in the Kaaba when in this surah and in the earlier surah it does not indicate that there were no idols at any time, because Hazrat Ibrahim and Ismail are being asked to purify the Kaaba. Now, when I understand the word purify, it is being purified from something.
The word tahira, the word is tahira, means purification can be both mental and physical. So if you go to Masjid Haram, every time people are washing the house all the time. In 5 minutes they are doing it. This is a physical purification. But the spiritual purification is what I explained, that people who know this is the house, they deviate. Everybody knows this house, this is the first house, but people deviate and then they make a house, an imaginary house or an apparent house, and in that house they put idols in that house. Like the Hindus are worshipping idol worshippers. So now that is not in the physical house, that is in the mind. So when you revert back, you purify the house. So antara baitiya, for those who compass round, you purify the house. So Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and all the prophets and the ittiba' Rasul, or the following of the messenger, is that we all in this room almost have got idols in our minds. That the house of Allah was having idols. Everybody will agree to that we believe that there were idols in the house of Allah. That is just being from the hearsay. But from the Quran, there is no worshipping of idols at any time in the house. So when we are purifying ourselves, we are purifying the idols from our minds to purify the house of Allah. So Allah says, وَأَن طَهِرَ بَيْتِيَ لِلطَّائِفِينَ. You have to purify my house for those who compass round, those who are going round. They may have the concept that there were idols in the house. For those who stand, for those who bow down, who prostrate. So you have to purify the house for them. Not a physical, mental.
Sir, I'm just reverting my question to what Mr. Naveed has just asked. It is regarding the idols. If there were no idols, why should Hazrat Ibrahim pray, O Lord, preserve me and my sons from worshipping idols? To which you replied that it meant mental idols which were in your mind. You gave him that answer, that the idols did not mean the physical idols, but the idols that are in the mind. But I would like to ask you that this is your interpretation, not the words of the Quran.
Thank you. You see, when he was talking about the ayah which is referring Ibrahim alayhi salam asking for prayer, that make this city of peace and security, make this city of peace and security and world, and that I should not worship the idols and not my sons. For this I said in my lecture that the house of Allah and that city was preserved of the worshipping of idols in the house of God. Allah is posing a question to the people who say there were idols in the house of Allah. Allah is posing a question. Surah Najm 53, 19 ayah, 19 verse. أَفَرَأَيْتُمُ اللَّاتَ وَالْعُزَّى. وَمَنَاةَ الثَّالِثَةَ الْأُخْرَى أَلَكُمُ الذَّكَرُ وَلَهُ الْأُنْثَى. So the ayah is saying, Allah is posing a question to the people who say there were idols in the house of Allah. Allah is posing a question. أَفَرَأَيْتُمُ اللَّاتَ وَالْعُزَّى. Meaning, have you seen Lat and Uzza? Posing a question, have you seen Lat and Uzza? And